relentless bombings and strikes in Gaza. Millions were displaced. Thousands were killed. But even with all the destruction and the deaths, on Wednesday, Gazans were thrilled to hear about the ceasefire deal. They were looking forward to see who of their loved ones would be in the prisoner swap deal and other details. But the question that lies ahead, will Hamas and the Israelis agree on a way to end this war and to govern inside Gaza? We tell you more in this report. From the war-torn Palestinian enclave to the streets of New York and Canada. The announcement of a ceasefire in Gaza and the return of hostages is reverberating. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said a deal to return the hostages in the Gaza Strip is finalized after last-minute snag. Israel delayed vote on the ceasefire on Thursday, blaming the last-minute dispute with Hamas over the Philadelphia corridor.
Even last night, the Prime Minister strongly insisted that Hamas fold their last-minute demand to change the deployment of IDF forces in the Philadelphia corridor, so important, so crucial to stop weapons smuggling to Hamas.
Hamas denied these claims, saying that it is committed to the ceasefire agreement proposed by the mediators. Washington's outgoing diplomat Antony Blinken was the first to announce that the ceasefire is taking effect after 15 months of bombings. He unveiled the day-after-war plan for Gaza, which includes the unification of Gaza and West Bank under a reformed Palestinian Authority. Blinken criticized Israel's policies towards Palestinians, saying that it cannot go on with its annexation in West Asia. Blinken was heckled while he was giving his final remarks at the press briefing and was questioned over U.S.'s handling of the Gaza war.
Thank you. Oh, respect the process, respect this process. Well, everybody from Amnesty International, to the ICJ saying that Israel's doing genocide and extermination, and you're telling me to respect the process. Criminal, why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague?
Outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden addressed U.S. troops on Thursday, saying it took 8 long months for his administration and mediators to finalize the ceasefire, and thanked the troops for their contribution.
I ask you to deploy to the Middle East. Again, you stepped up, pulling long nights and long deployments to weaken Hamas, to defend Israel against unprecedented attacks on Iran. Imagine had we not. If we don't lead the world, who will lead the world? Who?
The ceasefire deal signed in Doha involves 3 phases. In the first phase, 33 of some 100 hostages who remain in Gaza are said to be released over the next 6 weeks in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. Israeli forces will pull back from many areas. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians would be able to return to what's left of their homes. The remainder of the hostages, including male soldiers, are to be released in a second and much more difficult phase that will be negotiated during the first phase. Hamas has said that it will not release the remaining captives without a lasting ceasefire and a full Israeli withdrawal. Israel has vowed to keep fighting with Hamas until the very end. Even after the announcement of the ceasefire, Israeli forces are continuing to bomb Gaza. Longer-term questions about post-war Gaza remain. The World Health Organization says Gaza's devastated healthcare system will need at least $10 billion for revival.
WHO and my team is very much involved in the work on the health sector, and what we get for initial figures, and I think this is for that is a mess that we talk about 3 billion over the next 1.5 year, and over the next 6 to 7 years you talk about only for health something like 10 billion.
Before the war began, Gaza was one of the most densely populated enclaves on the planet, with a population of over 2 million. The war has resulted in the destruction of over 170,000 buildings and has damaged the majority of Gaza's roadways, schools and hospitals. The world now faces the daunting task of rebuilding what was lost in the past 15 months.